So I was looking on Reddit today, and there's like this. There's been this ongoing discussion about like some of the UFO videos that were released by like the government, by the Pentagon, or by the government. Can't really say if it was from the Pentagon or where it was from, but one of them is called the Gimbal film, and what it looks like is it's like black and white, and the thing like turns on its axis like against the wind, and you can hear like the pilots like reacting to it and saying like it's like 17 or 18 knots, the wind's blowing, and the way that it's turning into it's like kind of impossible for an aircraft to do that. Since that video has come out, it's constantly been trying to be discredited, and one of the main things that people bring up is the lens flares, and how what it looks like is if you were to like having that infrared view of like a jet airplane, and you're looking at like the actual jet side, like the backside, and if the aircraft were to rotate, that it looks like similar to that, and that's how they're like basically trying to say that it's a fake film, or at least it's not fake, but it's more likely just an aircraft. Well, recently in the past like 2 years, the people that actually make that device that like for the government that does the infrared tracking and the camera lensing on it, have just about 2 years ago have like definitively said that is not a possibility, that what is being displayed in the film is not a lens flare, or it's not the jet side of an aircraft, it's something else. And it's just interesting that like I'm still like when I go on Reddit, it's still trying to be discredited, and it's like, man, can we just move on from that? Like, just you have to realize that like you have Japan now, which was the last country to finally say that, oh yeah, we're seeing this stuff too. We don't know what it is, but we do have evidence of this as well. They were the last country to finally say that they believe that, or they are seeing the same thing that we're seeing, and it's not them, and they're like, we don't know who it is. It's just so funny that people are still, I don't know, they don't want to believe. I don't know, and it's fine. I get it, and the thing that makes me laugh is like, I think most people are looking for that video, the UFO flying up to the pilot, waving at it, and saying hi, and then flying off. Like, that video is never gonna happen, ever. You just have to realize that we have moved into another paradigm, and it's fine if you don't want to believe it, but it's being discussed in the scientific field as factual now. It's just interesting. What do you think? Have you seen Have you seen that film?
What do I think about aliens?
No. About no, I didn't.
haven't seen that film. What you're talking about now?
Oh, okay.
I'm not really into that type of stuff. Like I'm open to. It's not like I discredit it, because like anything's possible for sure. But in my point of view, like, if there are beings that are capable of that now, then what fucking chance do we have? Like, I'd rather not know at this point and just live our lives. Because if there is an alien that's capable of that, of leaving wherever they're from, and that kind of that takes like super technology. So
Right.
They would obviously, we would be no match for their technology. So, like, if they're just doing their thing, then whatever. Like, I totally think that there could be, like, but it's just like in my mind, it's like, I'd rather not think about. Like, I mean, I think it's cool. I love, I love hearing about it and stuff, but it's just not like that. I'm not that into it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, thank you for sharing that. I wonder, like, like because like for me it's different because I've been obsessing this for 20 years. So I'm trying to like understand other people's perspective, and one of the things that like I'm wondering if like have you probably haven't kept up with this, but have you like to you, do you know that like the government have been doing things like as far as legislation lately when it comes to UFOs and stuff like that? Like have you because that's, I'm just wondering, like the thing, I guess the thing that I'm trying to ask is,
asking, am I aware that the government's like trying to hide
no,
like,
not
stuff
that.
like that, or
No, that like I guess like because for me, I'm so obsessed of this that like I wake up to it and I'm always looking for it. So for like I'm wondering like other people that are not like me, that are not looking into it, like right now we
I guess if you're what you're trying to get to, in my like I put it in perspective, right? There are things that are going on in this country, way more important things to me that are going on, and so that type of thing doesn't take up a whole lot of thought. But I'm not into it. Like if it was something I was into, it would, because it would be something I was, that entertained me, that took up my time, like interested me. So I'm not like but for me, there's like other things that take up that,
same
that
same
thought. Yeah, you know what I mean?
same.
So
Well, I
like,
guess what I'm asking
and there-
is if
Mhm.
you're seeing it, like are you like the media or the news or the TV or the newspaper or the magazines that you read, the YouTube videos that you're seeing, are you noticing that the talk has changed in like as far as like are you even seeing it like in any?
I'm not.
I guess
I'm
that's
not
what I'm
really
asking.
I don't understand your question. I guess you're
Um
asking me if things have changed in the
no,
like as far as like what I'm watching, or like
yeah,
do you mean like
when you're the stuff that you're seeing around you, are you hearing like people talk about it? Are you seeing it on television? Like are you even noticing
talk about what?
um talk about UFOs or UAPs
No,
at all?
I've never heard anybody talk about it.
Interesting. Yeah, I've wondered that because I guess like for I guess like for me, I like I search for it, so like I'm finding it, but like for other people that this is like like you, like I totally understand that this doesn't interest them at all. I was wondering, like, are they noticing that the conversation has shifted in as far as like the scientific field? And the reason I'm saying this is because it was maybe about 5-6 years ago. I hear you, viral. 1 second. Maybe about 5-6 years ago. If you talked about this in the scientific field, you were scrutinized, and if you worked in some kind of field that studied it, your funding was removed. But now the way it is 5 years later, now they're actually contributing money to it, and they're actually opening up fields to research it. And before that was like it was almost seemed to be impossible. I guess that was my question, is like, are in that, I guess that's I think that's for most people. Most people are like that right now. They're not noticing it, and it's because unless you're looking for it, you're not going to notice it. Like if you really have to look into it, and I totally understand for people who, and there are better, and they're not better, but there are other things that are more important in today's world. Like there's a war that's going on right now in parts of the world that we, for people who've never seen war, it's hard for them to even relate what that's even like, to be around war, or to be near a war, or to be in the war. But yeah, I just always wonder that, and I guess for me it's different because it's something that it's touched me in a way that I've experienced it, so it's like it's for me it's no longer really a question, but it's interesting to me, because as the years are going by, they've already gotten to the point where every country has unanimously said, other than I think Russia, no, or maybe China. I think China's the last one. Every country has said it's not us. Like Russia has said it's not us. It's doing this. Japan has said it's not us. The U.S. has said it's not us. Brazil has said it's not us. Argentina has said it's not us. Chile has said it's not us. Australia said it's not us. UK said it's not us. And I think the only country that has said it's not us is China. And so and it's kind of interesting because every country is like, the race is on to try to figure this technology out, because whoever figures this technology out, it's game changing. And if it falls into the wrong hands, where the world could change dramatically for a whole planet. So it's just interesting. If you had you would deny. But yeah, we don't have to talk about this if you don't like the subject. It's fine. I was just wondering what you thought, and like what you're seeing in your everyday life. Because my wife, she's funny. My wife, who's married to someone who's obsessed about this, she knows nothing of this. And every time I bring it up, it's kind of funny. She just like gives me like a blank stare, and then she's like, "Oh, were you talking?" So I get it. It's funny. Hello.
No, I was letting you talk, bro. You were going. I was like, dude, you were handling it.
I appreciate it. Well, like I said, it's.
I think that alien stuff is fun. It's fascinating. Yeah, I'm definitely not into it on the level you're into it, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah,
no worries.
I think, here's another thing I was going to say. That's another thing too, is, personally, here's where I am. Personally, I don't think aliens have come here. I think the shit that we see, I think there is some cool technology, but it's definitely government shit that they don't let us know about. And they just, of course they're going to deny it. It's top secret shit. So I think they've already come up with like stealth shit and camouflage to where we can't see them in the sky. I think they've already come up with that shit like that. So that's just my opinion. So I think a lot of it's like, I mean, it's not worth going into. It's just it's
okay. It's okay. I like talking about this, so I appreciate you being able to express yourself. And if it gets uncomfortable for you, we don't have to talk about it.
You're making me uncomfortable.
I do want to ask you one question, and then we no longer have to talk about it.
No, go for it. I'm down. I don't care. What are we playing though? Go ahead. Good. Ask your question. But now, okay. First, what are we playing? And then ask your question.
Wait. What would you like to play? So when I told you the story about what happened to me in 2019 with my wife in Sedona, Arizona, do you remember that story?
When you were abducted?
No. God damn you! I don't know what happened. I don't think I was, cuz I don't think I was. I don't think I was. But I'm being honest with you. Like, what do you think of that story? And do you well, first, do you believe me? Do you believe that
First, I don't know the story, so you'd have to enlighten me.
Oh, beautiful. Let's do this. Okay.
Yeah, do it. Handle it.
Okay.
Hold on. Let me turn the TV on, cause.
Okay. Make sure you get a good bake on, because this is a story. This happened to me and my wife in 2019 in Arizona, like Sedona, Arizona. You can ask my wife this story. Okay? You can ask her
Her
you can ask
perspective?
her perspective, and it's different than mine. It is different than mine. And she hates me telling this story in front of her because it makes her uncomfortable. But if she understands how dramatic it was for me and how it changed me completely, that she is willing to, whenever asked, to at least acknowledge and tell her side. But she'll only tell it once, and you have to understand that she's very uncomfortable about telling it. But I'm selective who I tell, because at the same time I understand that this is a very sensitive subject. We were in.
Were you probed? Nina wants to know if you were probed.
What? I hope not. I hope not. Me and my wife went there, stayed at an Airbnb right there, like in like downtown Sedona, and in the middle of the night, maybe at like 8 o'clock, the Airbnb had a really nice barbecue pit area, and we were cooking chicken, eating. Or we weren't eating, we were cooking the chicken, waiting for it to be done. And I had a glass of wine. I probably had like 2 or 3 sips. And the stars are beautiful. That's the thing why everyone goes to Sedona is for the stars. It's like so beautiful with the stars. And it just so happened to be, I don't think the moon was out, so it was like one of those nights where you could see all the stars. And I remember looking to my right, like up into the right, and staring at a star, and the star was kind of blinking in my mind. Like, it looked like it was moving a little bit and blinking. And I've seen stars do that, and usually it's like a planet, or it's like, there's some kind of reason why it's doing that, but I don't know why. To me, in my mind, I'm like, that's different. That's moving a little bit. And I, like, in my mind, without saying anything out loud, I just started kind of like talking to it, and I'm like, I know what you are. Why don't you come on over and say hello? Why don't you land? And then I kind of like freaked out that I said that. So I'm like, you know what? Don't land. Just flash us and then shoot off. And that way I'll know that you are what I think you are. And I just kind of stood there just looking at it for another like 15 seconds, 30 seconds. And then it started to move. And it like slowly was coming like towards where me and my wife are standing. And in that moment, I remember telling myself, like, whenever you see a UFO, like, remember to get a video, get a photo, get some kind of evidence, because no one's ever going to believe you, and everyone always makes fun of the fact that it's always blurry photos or blurry videos. And I'm like, try to get a good video. But then in that moment, I also thought, like, what if I look away and it's gone? What if I pull out my camera and it doesn't focus, and even when I try to shoot the video, like, nothing comes out? I'm like, so then in that moment, I just thought, you know what? The best thing I could do is to get someone else to confirm that what I'm seeing is real and it's actually happening. And so I, like, kind of still looking at it, I yelled at Erika, like, Erika. And she kind of like, what? I'm like, Erika, look. And I pointed at it, and she's like, huh. She goes, what is it, a plane? And I was like, well, is it making sounds like a plane? She's like, no. I was like, and she was like, is it a helicopter? I was like, I don't know. Did you hear propellers? And she's like, no. And I was like, do you even see blinking lights on it? She's like, no, I don't see that either. It was just a solid orange.
I'm on a generator right now.
Orangey light. And it finally, like, as we're talking, it finally got to, like, directly above us. And then the next thing that happened was the light like got bigger, like the circumference just widened to the point where it covered the entire sky, and this thing appeared to like be directly above us. And then it like flashed, like took a photo, and it shot off. And the way that it shot off is it created a line from the point that it took off to the point in the sky where it like took off. And then like kind of like when you light a fuse, the line of light that it shot off from, it like disintegrated, like it like ended, like from that point from where it shot off to the ending, and then it was gone. It was completely gone. It flashed us, and then right after the flash, it shot off like really fast, like fucking so fast that it created a strip of light. And I literally looked at my wife and I go, what we just witnessed is possibly something moving faster than the speed of light, because it took off and left the trail of the light. I was like, I don't know what else to explain what that was. And she just looked at me and she's like, we need to go inside. And we grabbed the food that we were cooking. We went inside and we were freaked out. The thing that sucked the most was the Airbnb that we were staying at had a huge moonroof. So we had to sleep with a huge hole looking at the sky. Like that.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
That's funny.
This happened right in the front door. So the way that the Airbnb was set up is it had like a little parking, like you pulled into a driveway and it had like a parking port or carport, you know, like where it's just like the cover of like a parking like a carport. Hello?
Yeah, sorry.
Oh.
I'm here. Yeah, I know that. Yeah.
So like that you pulled into that, and then the house had like a barbecue spot right at the front door. There was like a patio area, and that's where we were standing barbecuing chicken, right at the front door. And that's where that happened.
Okay.
It was completely silent. And when it shot off, like, I've been around Air Force jets. I've been around fighter jets. I've been around bombers. I've been around drones. I've been around predators. I know what it feels like when those things take off. I know what it sounds like. You could feel the inertia. And the fact that we were directly below it and it shot off that fast, we should have felt that force of it shooting off, and we felt nothing. It was completely silent, and we felt nothing from that inertia from it shooting. Oh shit, I'm at the wrong door. Yeah, I guess I'm just happy for me, like, personally, I'm happy that Erica saw it. Because if Erica hadn't seen it, your cousin probably would have be in a loony bin right now.